I'll be rather brief with my remarks. I've found, though, in dealing with LSU, especially during the football season, a lot more information is passed whenever people want to know something. And I will do my best to give you an answer, not the politically correct answer, I might add, but the honest answer. I will start, though, by just giving you an overview of what happened this past year. As many of you all know, we have just floated a bond program for $100 million. That $100 million will build the South Side edition of Tiger Stadium. That South Side edition will consist of approximately 8,000 more seats, which will bring Tiger Stadium to a 100,000 seat stadium. It consists of 65 suites. It also consists of a separate and distinct stadium club that holds 3,000 men and women. It includes an upper deck, and that upper deck will hold approximately 2,500 people. Included in that will be a section where those visiting fans that now sit in the corner of that south end zone. I don't know if you've been to several of these stations where, stadiums rather, where you had to climb and strap yourself to a light pole at the top. Well, let me tell you, those Alabama fans are going to be way up there, and so will all these other fans that visit Tiger Stadium. In addition to the visiting fans, we will have a section consisting of approximately 500 to 800 SRO, standing room only. This is designed as what has happened in other stadiums, specifically Cowboy Stadium in Dallas, where it's a game-to-game situation. It's a ticket that allows a man or woman to bring his child. Both of them get in for $25. They stand in line, they go up to the top, and they can watch any game, to include the big games, not so big games, for $25. This is something that we think is important to show that the ticket expense in Tiger Stadium is rather hefty, especially if you sit in a premium seat. Everybody knows that. But we want to make sure that that man or woman who maybe unfortunately cannot afford that premium seat or even a regular seat with the prices that are put on the tickets, we want to afford them that. We think that's a good idea, and that's been well received throughout this past year. So we started processing what we were going to do with these extra seats, and also trying to market this. Well, I'm happy to tell you that we marketed 65 suites at $69,000 per year in 3.5 days. And it only took 3.5 days because we called everybody. If we would have done it electronically, it would have taken probably 3 hours. So that was completely sold out. And when I say sold out, that's committing with a contract and also paying 1/2 of that this year and paying the second half in 2014 when it opens. So this will open for the football season of 2014. At the same time, we marketed 3,000 Stadium Club seats, now called the South Stadium Club. Those 3,000 seats were sold in priority order in 2.5 weeks, calling people up and asking them. We had, on the internet, we had the layout of the seats, and as people picked seats, the seat went dark. And people were riding all around Louisiana, Houston, and the Gulf South, unfortunately, while they're driving their car, looking at their internet, watching the seats disappear, and people would get a call, and the first thing they'd say is that somebody just took my seats. Well, that's their seats now. This is what you have to choose from, and that was sold out. So we were very, very pleased with that response. Prior to those numbers being picked by Tiger Athletic Foundation and ultimately approved by LSU, we had done a Price Waterhouse survey, and Price Waterhouse came back to us and said, you can sell 100 suites at $69,000. I think we could have. We sold 65 and there were close to 200 requests. Now, they also said you could sell 8,000 Stadium Club seats. And we didn't think we thought that was a stretch, really. And I still think it's a stretch. I'm not sure exactly how they came up with that number, although they explained it to me. We settled in on 3,000, basically doubling the capacity of the present Stadium Club. So we're going to have 10,000 premium seats in Tiger Stadium that will hold 100,000 men and women for football games. And it'll be virtually sold out. Now, whether the seats are actually occupied, it depends on who you play, just like anywhere else in the country. But that's quite a success story. It was reported by Bloomberg out of Washington, D.C. It was reported on the Wall Street Journal. And Forbes magazine even put a little snippet out there about what is in the water in South Louisiana. To be more specific, the people we borrowed this money from is Capital One. They are the lead bank that put the bank group together. It consists of eight banks in Louisiana and the South that participate in and guarantees this bond issue. Well, the leader of Capital One, the man who started it out of Virginia, he happened to be in Baton Rouge, and I was asked to meet him, and we were at a dinner at home, and he said, you know, I'd like to sit down and eat with you. I have some questions for you. I said, sure, happy to. Mr. Fairbanks is his name. And we're sitting down, and I'm cutting my steak, and he says, General, I got to ask you honestly. He says, this has been bugging me because I was a credit card outfit, and I got into banking business, and we kept the old Hibernia structure in place, and Bo Campbell is on my board, my national board, and Herb Boyston is in Baton Rouge, and I never asked them, but I looked at the books, and I see where Tiger Athletic Foundation has borrowed close to $200 million from our bank, and I can't find any collateral. I said, well, you don't have any collateral. It's a signature loan. It's 7 nights in Tiger Stadium. And he kind of looked at me and says, what does that mean? I said, you're not a football fan. No, he said, I grew up in the Northeast. He said, what does that mean? And of course, everybody around the table said, fear not, we're going to get you to Tiger Stadium. We'll show you what that means. But that speaks a lot for the culture of our athletic football program, and it speaks volumes in what the reputation of LSU athletics have throughout the country. So, I mentioned that because I want to thank you all. People like yourself that support LSU, the university, our flagship university, and specifically those of you that support LSU athletics, all sports. This is what allows us to be able to go out and build these facilities. As a matter of fact, we not only build facilities like the Academic Center, which is just a wonderful success and is the crown jewel of what we've done in the past 12 years. The Academic Center for Student Athletes, the Cox Building, it's not only for student athletes. There's 5,000 LSU students that go through that Campbell Auditorium every week. Every week. That auditorium holds 1,000 students. So it's not only just for athletes, it's for LSU. It's the largest and most technological auditorium we have at LSU. And that's because of people like yourself. That's all philanthropic money, all of it. Now, speaking of philanthropic money, on the west side of Tiger Stadium, we just completed a project. Have y'all seen the west side of Tiger Stadium, what we've done there? And then on the north side of Tiger Stadium, we coated it, changed the windows. Now it's watertight, it looks great. And all of that was done with philanthropic money. Not $1 was borrowed. That's all money being raised philanthropically by the Tiger Athletic Foundation and LSU Athletics. So we thank you for that. Next year you're going to see a similar type of gating system come around to the north. At the same time, you'll start seeing groundbreaking on the south, and you'll start seeing pilings go in, and you'll start seeing a superstructure come up. And by September of 2014, the south side of Tiger Stadium will have been completed, and we will have a 100,000 seat stadium. So we were excited to be part of that. In the past 12 years, we have spent over $300 million on improvements involving LSU athletics. That's quite an accomplishment. I take none of the credit for that. I have a wonderful staff. I really do. And the staff I'm blessed with very seldom turns over. We think we take care of them and treat them right, pay them right. At the same time, they do a marvelous job. So we're very proud of that, and we also plan to do more in the future. Not part of that $300+ million is $1.5 million over the past 10 years that goes for teaching awards. This is non-athletic, and student awards, non-athletic. We started out in 1995 securing $24,000, passing it to the business school and also to the arts and sciences to give these awards. This year we have in our budget $200,000 to do that. So over the past 10 years it amounted to $1.5 million. So we're very proud of that. Our main job is in fact to support LSU athletics. But more importantly, our main mission and the most important thing for any of us that support LSU, work at LSU, and are fans of LSU is the graduation of every student athlete, along with the graduation of all of the students that want to work and become productive members of this great republic. So we can keep our republic a republic. And that is our mission. We want those young men and women to graduate. Along the way, we want to provide them with the best facilities and the best circumstances that we possibly can. So we are very, very happy that our graduation rate in football is 77%, higher than the normal student population, and number 2 in the SEC. Vanderbilt is at 78. But Vanderbilt has far fewer trophies than LSU. So with that in mind, I would like to take some questions that you may have. I didn't talk about the football team yet. I'm not as articulate as Coach Miles is, so I don't have all those answers that the coaches have. But I'd be happy to address anything you may wish to ask. Yes, ma'am.
How is everybody going to park all those extra people?
Good. The question is, where is everybody going to park with 10,000 additional seats? So we estimate that's about 2,000 actual new people that are not in Tiger Stadium right now. The answer to that is we're not sure yet. It's a problem because we have a parking problem right now. What we believe is going to happen is that the lots are going to creep up towards Highland Road. And we are hoping that in this building process of the Nicholson extension that is going to improve Nicholson, that there will be a 5-story parking garage. That's the real answer. To have a multi-floored parking garage such as Tennessee has, Florida has one, and Vanderbilt has one. That's the way that we can solve that problem. Yes, sir?
One of my colleagues is from Basile, so I know you're from Basile.
I am from Basile, a big metropolis, about this big. It's about that big.
Since you wouldn't let Ed say much about you in the introduction, could you fill us a little bit about your background, and particularly your military background?
Yeah, he wants to know about my background and where I grew up. I grew up in southwest Louisiana in the country between Basile, Eunice, and Iota. We had a rice farm and a cattle ranch, and I grew up driving tractors and helping my grandfather and father in the fields. I got on the bus when I was 5.5 years old, and there was 2 buses. One bus went to Iota, one bus went to Basile. Well, the bus driver was my uncle, so I recognized my uncle. I got on that bus. I had no idea where I was going to go to school. But that bus went to Basile, and it was a town of about 2,000. I lived out in the country. Spent my time in Basile. In a place like Basile, they said, I was asked, well, did you letter in sports in high school? I said, yes, every male did. I mean, you had to. I graduated, went to LSU, spent 4 magnificent years at LSU, sometimes wondering whether I was going to graduate or not. It was the height of the Vietnam War. I couldn't wait to serve my country. I was in a Marine Corps program, and in June of '68 I was told that I graduated. I'm still not sure today that I actually graduated from LSU, but at the time the need for second lieutenants in the Marine Corps was very, very high. And off I went. And after that, I spent 33 years in the Marine Corps. My wife and I have had 28 homes in 33 years, and our children are scattered all around the world. That's one of the drawbacks of being in the military. But I'm very proud of serving our country, and I'm very saddened by what's happened by listening to some of the political conversations, and this is not a political statement, but I'm very saddened by the rhetoric with both political parties on what is important in these upcoming elections. There seems to be a reluctance to actually get to the heart of the matter, and I'm saddened by that. When I was in the Marine Corps on active duty as a general in the Marine Corps, I couldn't have said that. But now, thanks to this great republic, I can say that. So, long answer to a question. Bottom line is, I'm sure you all will. Let's all go out and vote. Vote your heart, and vote which we think is best for our country. Yes, sir.
Is there any plans to update the video replay capabilities in Tiger Stadium, both from the scoreboard standpoint